Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, but me personally, I was gonna walk in the rain. And so then.
Yeah, I'd like to do all the finance
I
and
fell
budget
asleep.
committee.
A couple of them.
And
Anyway, okay.
first item is approval of last month's meeting minutes. Yes, moved by Supervisor Driscoll, seconded by Supervisor E2. Any comments, questions, changes?
Nope.
Call the question, all in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Next is privilege of the floor and public comment. One would like to address the committee. The next item is the action agenda. Item 1 is a request for transfer of funds as attached.
First transfer of funds that's listed here, first, that's in the wrong spot. But anyway, I think $55,000 is the total salary for the year. Oh, I'm sorry, it won't be voted. For approval.
We'll take that out. Yep. Are there any questions about any of the other transfers other than the first 45,000? Yes, I wondered why the 300,000 for the road wasn't included on the other two. Why weren't they all together? There's another resolution here for
So the one here that is creating capital or road projects and transferring funds for those road projects,
okay.
and
So
the
this,
300,000 is for, I believe, but can.
Yeah, I can talk to that real quick. Yeah, the first two are creating new road projects. These are ones that we had in design, we just weren't ready to have out for bid or for one of our terminators to do the work. The other one was already existing project that we just needed more money based on what we determined in the field.
okay. Thank you. All right, so the transfers except for the first 45,000. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Supervisor Stroud, seconded by Supervisor E2. Discussion. Call the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So do we want to take that right now, that motion?
Yes.
Okay, so we need a motion to take $45,000 from contingent account. I believe this is for the position in the county clerk's office.
It's actually gonna be less than 45,000, it's 45,000 salary for the year.
So do we have a,
Salary, but yeah, we don't have the total amount right now.
well,
Don't have in time for the board.
so up to 45,000. By Supervisor Driscoll, second by Supervisor E2. Any questions about that? This is for the pistol part. I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. See what we got next. That items to be discussed with the county administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 2A is the journal report of transfers approved by the county administrator for April 2024. Two items at 5,000, the last couple items. One is to move money from our equipment line to cover the cost of a new shredder that we needed, and several new laptops as well. So the money's just moving it from office equipment to supplies. And the second at $5,000 is for the treasurer. For the tourism director. they needed an additional $5,000 in A 6417 001-481 to provide, to do the contract for Schnepp's Media. Any other questions about? Oh. Thank you, Mr. Powell. Item 2B is a request to transfer 13,832 from budget code A 896 vehicle reserves to various departmental budgets to cover the cost of vehicle purchases.
Moved by Supervisor Geraci. Second. Seconded by Mr. Stroud. Questions about the money from the auto reserve?
Thank you. Item 2C.
Call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Go ahead. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 2C is a request to amend 2024 Warren County budget in the amount of $12,717 to reflect receipt of state aid for vehicle purchases for health services, Department of Social Services, and Countryside Adult Health.
By Supervisor Driscoll. Seconded by Mr. Bruno. Any questions on that? That covers pretty much all. I'll call the question on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 2D. Wait till.
We're going to defer that till the end. Thank
Till the
you,
end.
Chairman.
Okay, next is items to be discussed by the and requests from the county treasurer, Christine Norton. Item 3A is a request for a transfer of funds in the amount of $7,950 from the 1990 contingent account for to budget code A 1325-811 county treasurer. And it's the New York State voluntary defined contributions to cover the cost of an employee joining the voluntary defined contribution plan, which was not budgeted for in 2024.
That's pretty much what it is. Any questions? It's actually me. That I wasn't budgeted for. So this is a transfer for the fact that I'm going to the New York State Voluntary Defined Contribution Plan.
Do we budget for that? No, I don't recall ever budgeting. That's a.
This is the first time anyway.
Discussion.
I just so you know, I mean, I'll give you the color I have on it. When I joined, I had the option of the New York State for this opportunity, and I just like the parameters of this opportunity as well, better, and went with this option as opposed to the New York State retirement. If I had gone with the New York State retirement, wouldn't there also be this request?
No,
No?
it wouldn't be a request. We would, the county would just contribute.
Okay, so it's a little different.
What's the cost of this?
Should be savings on the retirement.
Okay,
Cost for the county.
Thank you.
The cost of the county is the same regardless, whether it's the pension, New York State pension system, or this voluntary defined contribution plan. It's still, these are the matching funds that the county does when you're in the retirement plan. It's just that it goes to the voluntary defined contribution plan. So this is just moving this money into this budget code so they can pay the VDIC plan as opposed to the pension.
Savings on the retirement side, this is coming out of it. So it's
Just the
net
same as the
zero.
deferred plan, Tim? Just the same as the deferred plan?
No, it's not the same as
Okay.
the deferred plan. The
Okay.
deferred plan is all on the employee. So
Okay,
this is-
all right, yeah, okay.
so this money is what would have been contributed to the New York.
What would have been contributed to the New York State retirement system for the county treasurer in this case has to be distributed from another budget account. So we're just moving it into this budget account so we can pay the VDIC plan, which is managed coincidentally by SUNY.
You shouldn't have said that.
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, gotcha. We have a motion by Supervisor Etu, seconded by Supervisor Dracci. Does everyone understand?
Yeah.
I'll call the question. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Next is item 3B. This is a request for transfers of funds amongst various budget codes totaling $61,104 to transfer budget to accounts in accordance with GASB number 96 subscriptions.
Just a little color, we implemented GASB 96 after the 2024 budget was finalized. So these are basically taking subscriptions and putting them into the proper account that meet the requirements of GASB 96. So they're coming from somewhere else and they're going into this account. We may have several others throughout the year, but again, this is in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles, standards board, generally. Government Accounting Standards Board, excuse me. And Rob has vetted all of these, so these definitely meet the requirements of GASB 96.
Introduced by Supervisor Etu, seconded by Supervisor Mayday. Any questions or discussion? Call the question on item 3B. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 3C is similar. It's a request to amend the 2024 budget in the amount of $65,719.77 to record 24-25 mental health office lease for GASB number 87.
Make the motion.
Supervisor Stroud, seconded by Supervisor
Crocito.
Presido. Any questions? I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Believe item 3D was withdrawn.
Well, as the
D&E.
D&E. Okay, so item 3F is a request to delete back taxes owed for the town of Queensbury, tax map parcel number 309.5-1.137.
we have this every year, or as it comes up, and this is for specifically a property that has been abandoned. It's in a mobile home. There's really no recourse. The only recourse would be to take possession of the trailer, which we do not do. So the write-off of the $766 for the last 2 years of taxes owed.
Care to move 3F? Moved by Supervisor Mayday. Seconded by 3-2. Any questions?
It's delinquent taxes for 2 years, did you say?
Yeah.
Don't we usually, isn't that 3 years though?
This property's been abandoned. So there's no recourse.
Who's entitled for the property?
Actually, the property is the trailer park's property. The rental is the trailer, or excuse me, the trailer is the person's property. And then they pay some homeowners association fees, but it is up to the trailer owner to pay their related property tax.
The person who does not own the property is liable to pay the taxes.
It's a good question, actually. I can follow up on that, but this is something that's been presented year after year. I will absolutely follow up on that. It's a good point. It's my understanding the trailer park owns the. Why can't we go after the trailer park?
That's what I would think. I think in my SNAP applications, the owner.
Yeah, my company owns some properties. And
Yeah.
force other people to pay the taxes on their recorded agreements.
Let me get back to you guys on that, but you want to hold off on it? This was gonna go next month, but I'm happy to get back to you on that question.
Put it aside, table.
Yep.
Mayday?
Yep.
Okay. So, we will table, 3F.
Thank you.
Any objections to that? Okay. 3G is a request to approve the list of corrections to the tax rolls as provided.
This is an annual reconciliation. For state land adjustments, $14.08. Discard petitions, forgive me, I did find out what that meant and it's escaping me. Court orders where there needs to be adjustments, $2,000, and for pilot, which are the payment in lieu of taxes, for the city of Glens Falls, $41,000. Again, this is an annual adjustment that's made.
Someone care to move this forward? Supervisor E2, seconded by Supervisor Driscoll. Any questions? Discussion? Okay, and item 3G, all in favor? Opposed?
Thank you.
Number 4 is referrals from the Criminal Justice, Public Safety, Emergency Services Committee. And this is from the assigned council, Julie Garcia, and it's a request to amend the 2024 budget, in the amount of $25,106 to carry over unused funding that is available, distribution number 13. Supervisor Grattan, seconded by Supervisor Snell. Any questions? Okay, I'll call the question on number 4. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 5 is the referrals from the Economic Growth and Development Committee. It's Planning and Community Development. It's a request to amend the 2024 county budget in the amount of $753.61 to reflect reimbursement received from the city of Glens Falls for the cost of GIS software maintenance. Supervisor E2, seconded by Supervisor Karachi. Any questions? Call the question on 5A. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5B is a request to establish capital project number H433 ambulance, in the amount of $135,592.15. Introduced by Supervisor E2. Seconded by Supervisor Strahl. Any questions or discussion about 5B? Yes.
I'll just say, I think we received a grant for $105,000 and that the planning department has $30,000 for the balance in reserves. Our planning department does, there's 6 to 7 figures of grants every year.
Any other discussion? Call the question on 5B. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 6. Referral from the Health Services Committee, Office of Community Services, and this is a request. Request to appropriate $300,000 from Budget Code A909, General Fund Unappropriated Surplus, to Budget Code A4390 435, psychiatric expense criminal, cover the cost of court-ordered New York State BL 730 competency restoration expenses. By Supervisor Dratchi. Seconded by Supervisor Strahl. Any questions? Last year we spent about 800,000. We budgeted 300. This is the second 300 and yes.
Is this? Get us through estimated.
No, it just basically covers what's been expended.
Seems to go up every year. Yeah,
Any other discussion? I'll call the question on, number 6. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Number 7 is a referral from the Human Services Committee, Department of Social Services. It's a request to amend the 2024 county budget in the amount of $58,042 to reflect receipt of increased allocation received from New York State Office of Children and Family Services for youth programs throughout the county. Introduced by Supervisor Driscoll, seconded by Supervisor E2. Questions on number 7? I'll call the question on number 7. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Is referrals from the Public Works Committee, Parks, Recreation and Railroad. 8A is a request to appropriate $326,000 from Budget Code A909 General Fund Unappropriated Surplus, Budget Code A9950-910 Transfers Capital Projects to provide funding for capital project number H434 Railroad repairs.
ABC.
ABs. Yep, we probably could. Motion by Supervisor E2 to move 8A, B, and C. They all relate to the railroad. The first one is the 326 from the general fund balance. There's 319 in a reserve. It's B. And C establishes the capital project. Moved by Supervisor Stroud. Seconded by Supervisor Stroud, I'm sorry. Any discussion? Yes, Mr. Bruno.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now, I brought up this question last time we discussed this. As this expenditure relates to, or how does it relate to any benefits, or how they relate to railroad? This is obviously a major expenditure, but what do we get in return for this? Do we have any? I know it could be a complex question, because you've got to look at, what benefits from tourism, sales tax, on and on. But I didn't hear anything last time I asked the question. Just thought I'd bring it up again.
Well, I guess one answer would be that this directly affects Revolution Rail and their operation. That would be one thing.
Right, I understand that. What do we get from them? $100,000 a year?
Right.
Other comments?
Just comment, if we leave it dormant for a number of years and then have the opportunity to utilize it for maybe a money-making venture, we're going to be spending a whole lot more, in my opinion, than we would if we continued to do the annual upkeep.
Right, well, that's an expensive
Yeah, I understand.
venture. And what are the prospects? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
If anybody analyzes, take a hard look at it to see what are the possible future endeavors as it relates to this railroad. I'm just asking a question, throw it out there. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't study it a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely need to make a decision, I think. I'm not on our little train.
That's my question. Thank you.
I do have a question. At the committee meeting, it was 590. How did we get up to 645?
So at the committee meeting, I discussed the 2 washouts that were in Stony Creek and Thurman, but also reminded the committee that we still had a washout in Riparius. That's why the price is at where it's at now. So that was the added extra for the cost of the Riparius repair as well. And remember, the contract with Revolution Rail is for the entire 40 miles, not sections of track, so they have the right to use that portion of the track. So we should be repairing that one as well.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, I'll call the question on A, B, and C. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, 8D is a request to amend the 2024 Warren County budget in the amount of $3,135 to reflect receipt of an insurance recovery payment to repair a trailer. Moved by Supervisor Drachi, seconded by Supervisor Etu. Call the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 8E is a request to establish road projects as outlined in the resolution request form and authorized transfer of funds for the same. I believe there's two of them. Supervisor Driscoll. Seconded by Supervisor Stroh. Any questions on those two items? Call the question on 8E, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 9 is, Finance Committee action is required on the following personnel agenda items. Contingent on their approval from Personnel Committee. And it's items 2B through D, 3B, 4, and 7. So.
We batch those that relate to the 30 to 40 hour.
Can do all of them. Still come out separate resolutions.
And yeah, I'd like to do that.
Okay.
Please.
All the personnel items, if, moved by Supervisor Driscoll, seconded by Supervisor Etu. Do you want to have any questions or any, discussion about any of the personnel? Yes.
On 2D, what is the benefit of the per diem? And is that person paid with a 1099 or a, a W-2? Are they still considered an employee of the county at that point? Or what is the benefit to go to per diem? Do we save employee taxes? Or,
The reason that she wanted to go to per diem was because, people get tired of, coming in every Saturday for tests. So, and she wants to develop a pool so that people, she has more people to choose from.
always a tougher position to fill? Okay.
On a regular basis.
On a regular basis,
For diem
okay.
positions we don't pay benefits, county benefits.
Okay, yeah, so that's a ben, okay, that helps the county, yeah.
Any other, discussion on those items? If not, I'll call the question on the personnel agenda items. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. The only other item we have is a demonstration of ClearGov software.
There may be we could bring back one item that was tabled.
Yes, thank you. I'm not sure on the agenda exactly where it is, but it's the one about the mobile home and a mobile home park.
Right.
So
3F.
we have no recourse to collect the taxes because a mobile home is personal property. It is not real property. So you can buy a mobile home and move it to wherever you want. The man who owned it that was getting the tax bill was getting a tax bill because he had exemptions on his property. So that's why he was getting his own. Otherwise, those bills are incorporated in the park's tax bill as a whole, because the park is the one that owns the land. So we have no recourse to collect
Treasurer Swan used to bring these to you guys periodically. Same situation, if somebody pulled a mobile home out of the park, which you can do at any time, we have no way of collecting the taxes from them. So because they were getting exemptions, is the only reason they were getting a tax bill. So just my recommendation would be to move it forward and remove the taxes as we have in the past. Because there's no sense of us going out and trying to tag something that is personal property like that. Because I don't believe we can truly foreclose on a mobile home when the people don't own the land. We can't foreclose on personal property, only real.
Thanks, Lexi. Now, does this mean that we're voting to do this forever or?
Just for this particular
Oh,
piece for the
okay.
2 years, they're not current year taxes. They were taxes from 21 and
All right,
22
okay.
that are outstanding, but the guy no longer lives there. He sold the mobile home. It's not anything that we can go back on
But as
him.
soon
and
as
collect.
someone possibly doesn't have it, that then
Say that again.
someone, if someone does move into that, then
Somebody
it would be the
moves
park's
in,
responsibility.
it's the park.
Okay.
The park is paying on the overall whole for the
Right.
property, and then if
Because he
there's
had the
multiple
exceptions.
homes. Correct, because
Okay.
the
All right,
current people would not have an exemption, and if they did, they would go to the assessor and ask or apply for those exemptions to receive them. So that guy did it just for his bill, so that he could get his veterans exemption and his star exemption at the time when he was living there. He's no longer living there.
Very good, thank you. We have a motion to untable and move this forward. Supervisor Mayday, seconded by Supervisor Bruno. Any other questions about this item? I'll call the question on 3F. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Again. Want to be around? We can take a quick look at our software program for.
Hey, give me a call if you have it. I gotta go. I gotta go in 15 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Too.
Okay, I think I project well enough to not have a microphone right in front of me. I hope you can hear me. Basically, what we did, last year is we entered into an agreement with ClearGov so that we can establish an electronic budget book. We have our printed budget book that you're somewhat familiar with. But right now, what we're doing is we're working on an electronic budget book, and this is what it's gonna look like. So basically, once we have it published, it's a link, so we could send it out. The plan would be John Lehman would send it out in a press release. If anybody was interested, here's the link, and anybody can access the book. The book is, designed in several different areas, the introduction, you have a budget overview, the fund summaries, and department pages as well. So I'm gonna just show, under introduction, and each of these have a drop down. You have budget information, you have a nice history of Warren County. And I get very little, space on my, computer here, but, Sarah Frankenfeld provided me a beautiful map with Warren County in red highlight, and here's history. Some history that, John Lehman provided us some information, who we are today. What's that?
I said there's the general George Joseph.
There you go. So we are today, these are the towns. We talked a little bit about, the fact that we live in a beautiful area, and then there's some economic, verbiage here as well. We also have, you can see there's drop downs, all kinds of information in here. We have gonna move some stuff around. Again, the moving around when you're not on a laptop is much better. We have a budget overview. The budget overview will give some administrative, just an overview of the budget that we're going to present. So the plan will be, we will publish this document. This is our 2024 budget. We'll publish this. There will be the ability for the public to be able to provide comments. And that'll be really important to drive how we show the budget for 2025. What I found is we have Ulster County and Warren County use this product. What they've done is they've put out their tentative budget in a separate document. I think we'll do the same thing. I would recommend doing the same thing so that we can get that posted. I did want to show you a example of a department. Here's some general government support. They give you expenditure summaries, nice graphs, revenue summaries. And then everywhere that you have the information, you have a spreadsheet breakdown where you're able to actually drill down to object level information. So if somebody wanted to see, for example, the amount of money that the county administrator's department spent on supplies, you could get to that level detail in this product. Whereas our current budget book, you can see personal services, county administrator spends this, they spend this amount in fringe benefits, and then this all other category. So in this way, you'll be able to drill down into, object level detail of the information that is provided. Down, this is expenses, you have revenue, but again, by department. You're gonna have expenditure information, and all of our salary schedules are also on this. Wow. So again, I just didn't want to take a lot of time, but I wanted to spend a little bit of time just to show you that we are going to have an electronic document that folks will be able to access just by using our link that we're going to provide to them. And they'll be able to see basically department level detail of revenues and expenditures as well. Again, I wish it showed a little bit better on my laptop so I can navigate a little bit better. But when you're not also hosting the Zoom meeting and the other pieces that will, that's really what I wanted to. I have provided the link to our treasurer and our county administrator, and then our budget officer is also taking a look at that document as well. So when we publish it, we'll make sure you all get the link, any feedback or whatever, you can get it back to me so that we can improve the process.
Thank you. And just a question, maybe I missed it, but in the introduction or somewhere, do you have any kind of a legend or something that explains to people what the letters, the prefix on these are, A, D, that sort of?
Yeah, so this first budget, this first section, it describes what's in each section in the book. So you have your introduction section, your budget overview, and that ties to your titles on the top. You can see introduction, budget overview, fund summaries, and department. If you go down into there, if I go down into your introduction, yeah, funds. Oh, sorry. If I go into fund structure, what it'll do is it'll show you, these are your different funds that we have. We have the general fund, what's included in, I think this is what you were asking, what's in the general fund, what's in your county road fund, what's covered under there, road machinery, then we have debt service fund, risk retention.
I know a number of people.
There's also
look at this.
a glossary.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah, there's a glossary section as well. They also have the ability to print the budget book. So there is a print bunch button you can see, and when you select that print button, you can decide what pieces to print. So you may not, this document as it exists today is about 700 pages
Yeah, I was
long.
gonna say, you got a lot of
Because it
paper. right?
includes all those pie graphs, all the bar graphs, all the detail. So,
How's the budget officer feel about this?
I think it's great. Tammy's been working on this for quite a while and putting it together and think it, you know.
On the face of it, it looks great to me.
Be good for the taxpayers to be able to do it for
Yeah.
something else.
Plus, we'll save money on printing,
Right.
right?
in theory, I think, you know, for those of us that have used the current printed budget book, we love it.
Yeah.
You know, because I can find the stuff in there, but this is nice, because this provides, you can add verbiage. So I like that. You can explain that when you're looking at a department and you're comparing 2023 to 2024. One of the things that we've had to explain is in 2023, we had a lot of ARPA funding. So when you look at the legislature, when you look at the code, it's called the legislature in Warren County. But when you look at the Board of Supervisors code, you'll see that there was about $4 million more in expenditures budgeted in 23 than 24. And that is because all the contracts for ARPA was under the Board of Supervisors. And you can explain that. You can add that verbiage.
This seems to have more information in the book. I like the book too, but I mean, it looks like there's a lot more in here, a lot more detail
Mhm.
than the book provides.
Yeah, we can, you know, for our department. I'll show you, like the district attorney page, like that. The district attorney. I did steal the picture of Jason, but I confessed. And he is gonna hold me harmless.
I gotta go.
I was gonna say, he consented to that.
Yeah,
See you,
yeah.
John.
So he goes, in case you didn't get that, I'm like, yeah, I know I stole it. I probably shouldn't have said that. So yeah, and then for each department, it'll drill down into what they budgeted for expenditures by function. And then again, as we said before, it's your details, so that you can see under the district attorney how much is spent on officer. And it gives you like, the last full year expended, what's budgeted, what they amended for 2023, and then what we budgeted for 2024.
So this has been around a while. How many counties are using this?
Several counties in New York State, but the two that I've looked at, the closest is Orange and Ulster.
Yeah,
And kind of saw how they designed.
And did you talk, they had good success with it?
Yes,
I would imagine.
yeah, they won this distinguished budget book award.
We have
We'll-
9 people,
we'll
so I have
strive.
to sit here.
Welcome. Oh, looks great. Does look great. Thanks for the
Nice job, Jim.
demo. A lot of work.
Hey, privilege of the floor. I know the treasurer wanted to give us an update. If you still do, most of us have left. but-
Yeah.
I'll wait until-
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned.
Okay.
Always have a purpose.
There you go.